Welcome, fellow Foundation members. This is my second video on, I guess, the easier ways of doing idea extraction. Today, I just want to share with you an easy LinkedIn strategy for idea extraction contacts. Below this video, you'll see a list of step-by-step instructions on my process of, I guess, engaging people very easily utilizing LinkedIn. And I just want to share with you some of the concepts or the philosophies on making that a lot easier for yourself, because I guess the idea or this particular approach pretty much makes it very simple to allow people to connect with you and at the same time accept your invitation to do an idea extraction. In the 11 steps, I've actually outlined the exact steps that you need to take to make that easy for you. I've also given you my emails, the introduction emails, how to connect with people, and I've also created another video that actually physically goes inside my LinkedIn profile, and I show you how to connect with decision makers, target niche markets, and work towards getting acceptances with the ultimate idea or the ultimate aim is to have a very easy, favorable idea extraction phone call. So the key here is this is a very simple plan. What you want to do is you want to fill in your profile in full because people are going to check out your LinkedIn profile. The next thing is you want to make sure that your summary and summary contact is focused on how you help people with what you're doing. If you don't turn LinkedIn into a resume. That's what I'm saying here. What you want to do is you want to add value to people. So if you've got an interest in a specific niche or a specific industry, tell people that you have an interest in this area, or you're looking to solve problems, or looking at ways of understanding that industry. The summary profile is something that most people will read on your LinkedIn profile, and when they want to connect with you, they will look at your profile and they'll look at all your links and connections as well. So it's important that you make sure that I guess gives people some sort of value in what you're doing. Remember that your LinkedIn profile also ranks you in Google for your name, so you'll find that you'll get great SEO out of LinkedIn, and you can create, you can use keywords in your profile as well. So make sure that that you do provide, I guess, the information that you feel that you'd like people to know about you, and more importantly, how you add value to the people that you're looking to communicate with. The next thing is make sure you smile in your profile photo. The smiles tend to get better response rates. The other thing I just want to share with you very quickly, the no profile pictures. No bikinis, no party shots, no naked selfies, nothing that the Pope wouldn't approve of. Remember that you're dealing with decision makers, you're dealing with professional people sometimes, with business owners. You don't want somebody to have an impression of you that isn't favorable to them wanting to connect with you. So just make sure that you get a nice simple photograph of yourself, preferably on a simple plain background. Make sure you smile in the photo, and just keep it I guess PG, or keep it G-rated. Is probably the most important thing in relation to your photograph on LinkedIn. Remember, LinkedIn is a professional network. There's a lot of business people on there, so I guess in some respects, first impressions count. So, to have a friend, you have to be a friend first. This philosophy is, my question or my approach to this is, how can I help people? How do I add value to people? So the whole process of this approach that I'm sharing with you, with the steps below this video, are purely designed to help you, I guess, engage people in a very non-threatening way. It also makes it very easy for them to accept your connections. Introduce yourself politely with a compliment when you connect with people. So what I tend to do when I connect with people is I'll look at their profile, I might look at their websites, I'll find something that I like or I thought is pretty interesting, or if they've got a blog, or if they've got an article they've written, and I would mention that in my connection when I make that first connection with them. Generally that will, when you compliment somebody sincerely, they tend to gravitate towards you and they'll want to connect with you as well. Understand your focus needs to come from a place I'm very interested in what you do. I'd like to understand your business better. So when you're writing these emails, this is not a promotion, this is not a sales pitch that you're writing. All you're trying to do is say, look, I'm out there, I'm looking, I'm really interested in your industry. You're a decision maker, or you're a business owner, or you're somebody that's been around for a while, and your knowledge and experience is something that I'd like to, I guess, engage, and I'm really interested in the opinions that you have of what's going on in your industry. And from that point of view, I just want to take the time to understand. So notice that the tone is a very soft tone. It's one where you're, I guess, really, taking a sincere approach to wanting to engage with people. Who do you want to connect to? The people I look for are industry thought leaders. I'll explain what that means. There are some people out there within industries that are recognized by their peers. They're constantly providing information. They're adding value. They're looking, they're the people that are growing within the industry. And when you start looking around the internet, especially within niche markets and looking at associations, you'll start to see certain businesses pop up with consistency. So these are the sorts of people that have a lot of connections. They've been around for a while. They're also they've also perhaps got, an intimate knowledge of the industry, and at the same time, they're always looking to improve and they're always looking to grow. So these sorts of people are great to connect with. Other sorts of people, the most successful people in the industry, I guess, you could call them thought leaders as well. In terms of the most successful people, look for, again, businesses that keep popping up, names that keep popping up. Those are the things you're looking for. Industry award winners. Industry award winners are businesses that are interested in growing and moving forward, and that's why they will enter awards. And so people like their ego stroked, and sometimes an easy approach to connect with people is to acknowledge their achievements and acknowledge their successes, and at the same time take an interest in what they're doing. So I do look at industry award winners and innovators within association markets. Now, industry association presidents. The reason why I would target these sorts of people is because they have great contacts. They're generally people who've been in the industry for a very long time. They would have had businesses within the industry. They're probably consultants within the industry. They're very well regarded. But the key here with the industry association presidents is they have a lot of connections with a lot of great people within a particular niche market. So it's great to connect with these sorts of people. Just to give you an example, one of the consultants that I work with is right now connecting with three of the senior executive directors within the Chartered Accountants Association. So, and they're engaging with him with the Q&A over LinkedIn. And so much so that they're now opening the door to having a face-to-face meeting with him, and he's then looking at opportunities for, I guess, to do business within the Chartered Accountants Association group. So connecting with association presidents or executives within committees is a great way to open the door to meeting other people that you'd like to target for your idea extraction. People who have a network of people that they can connect with you. A good example of this would be consultants or speakers within a niche market. What I would do is I would go to association websites, check out if they've got an event or a conference, go to their previous year's conference web page. It'll show you a program of all the speakers that are speaking at that association conference, and generally you'll find 3 or 4 senior people within the industry who are thought leaders or people who support the industry through information or through strategic ideas and support services. And these are the sorts of people that I would want to connect, because essentially those sorts of people can connect you with an entire group of people for idea extraction as well. So look for people who are speakers and consultants within niche industry groups on LinkedIn as well. So the results, just to give you a perspective, these are based on several consultants that I've shared this strategy with over the last couple of years, and these are the sorts of average figures that we've been seeing in implementing this type of strategy, and I've also experienced this as well. So generally, what will happen is if you've got 100 connections, so for example, if I was, sitting down one day at LinkedIn and decided to go and introduce myself to 100 people through the strategy that I'm sharing with you below this video. Generally, you'll see between a 70% to 90% acceptance to connect. So if you've paid a compliment and you've acknowledged the person, you'll generally get about a 70 to 90% acceptance rates on connection. The next thing is 71 question follow-up emails, about 30 to 40% response to your first question of people coming back to you and saying and giving you an answer to your specific question as well. So that's a fairly high conversion rate. And then when you follow up with say, hey, can we set a time to call for the idea extraction, you'll generally get about 15 to 20 acceptances for idea extraction calls. Is about the rough idea or the rough figures in terms of what happens. So, actions to take. Read my 11-step LinkedIn strategy below this video. Watch my video on how to connect easily on LinkedIn. The link is in the step-by-step guide below the video. And that will show you exactly what to do inside LinkedIn, how to target people, how to target niche groups, how to get to the decision maker, how to connect with them, and the email that you can send to them to make that connection easy. Set a goal to connect with a minimum of 10 people per day. This will take you about half an hour a day if you did this. So if you're connecting with 10 people, taking an interest, searching them out, and sourcing them out, it'll roughly take about half an hour. So 10 people a day. And at the low end, aim for 1 or 2 quality connections with idea extraction calls per day. That means you're physically speaking to a person. You're not dialing and not getting them on the phone. To me, a successful extraction call is actually when I've actually communicated with the decision maker and I've asked all those questions and elicited their answers. So that to me is a successful extraction call. If I'm hitting at 1 or 2 per day, within the month you're doing between 20 and 40 extraction calls. I would imagine that would be more than enough to give you a few open doors to potential ideas. So those are the types of actions that I would take. Remember, you have a list of people. Now, this is something that most people forget. You've got a list of people who are decision makers in your target audience who've accepted an invitation to connect. So what you want to do is, if the first question didn't work, then ask another question and start the process again. Remember that these people that you're connecting with have accepted a connection from you, from a niche target audience or a market that you're going to. They're busy, just like you are. So sending out one email, and hoping that every single person is going to respond is highly unlikely. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days for people to get back to you because they're not tracking their LinkedIn emails as diligently as they are other emails. Just be mindful not to be spammy, and the other thing also is be mindful that you don't want to ask a whole bunch of questions, just ask one question. So if the first question didn't work, go back a week later and ask another question. And if the second question didn't work, give it another week and go back again and ask another question. Eventually what will happen is the person will respond to you. Remember, if you treat your LinkedIn connections as a database list, you want to start to build a relationship. If you're finding out ideas from extraction calls, then if you want to engage other people in the market, maybe share some of the things that are coming out of your calls with those other connections, so that it may open the door for them to see that you're there to add value rather than to take something from them. So remember that don't give up after the first contact. It's just like treating it like an email list. You want to be communicating with people on a regular basis, and also you want to build a relationship with people. If you're finding that you have a solution that's come from your extraction calls, all of these people that are on this database in LinkedIn that are connected to you, they're your potential customers when you've extracted your ideas. So don't discard the fact that somebody didn't get back to you as a rejection, or don't treat it as okay, well, they're obviously not interested, and that's it. What you've done is you've built a usable database within LinkedIn that you can add value to, build a relationship with, and also go back to and validate some of your ideas as well. Remember, to have a friend is to be a friend first. So remember, the approach is to, how can I help you? Let me understand. I'm really interested in what you're doing. And I find that when you take an interest in people, you'll find that they tend to gravitate towards you. So, thanks for watching. Look, if you've got any questions, my Skype contact is johnlogar1. Feel free to email me if you've got any questions. One of the vernaculars, or one of the things that I guess helps me through the day, is to make every day a payday. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoy the steps, and good luck with your idea extraction calls. I wish you every success in the world.